Let's talk a little bit about interest rates right now.
Nobody wants to know about this stuff.
This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
The Fed rate has no direct impact on mortgage rates.
100%.
However, the lenders, the investors, look at that and helps them to establish their rate.
Sure. It's about the competition for money. And so, in talking to the human beings that I encounter, right, there's this idea, I think, in many people's mind where it's a light switch, where if the Fed cuts the rate, then tomorrow, the day after, then mortgage rates are down.
Right.
In reality, mortgage rates have already leaned into that reduction.
Okay.
We will have fully priced that in by the time it actually happens. So all the benefit will already be in your mortgage rate for that moment in time. What you're going to be counting on is where do they go next? Right? What's the next move? Are they going further? Are they going further than we expected? Are they going less than we expected?
Okay.
Those type of things will indicate the direction of
the
either lower or
forecasting.
higher.
Yeah.
Correct. Because it's all about what's happening in the future.
It's essentially either your headwind or the tailwind.
True.
I mean, it's kind
That's a
of
great
like
way to put it.
An underlying force that you're dealing with, but there's adjustments that take place in the interim.
It's that huge ship that turns slowly in any direction, just turns really
Yeah.
slowly in
Changing
reacting
this.
to things. Yeah, but I think that one of the things that we talked about before the program, and I think it's really important. People a year ago were saying, "Hey, you know what? Interest rates. I'm going to wait for interest rates to come down,
And then I'll transact.
And now what they're finding out is that prices keep going up.
Yeah.
This is absolutely sort of like, in my mind, the gospel of what people need to be thinking about. If you're in the market to be purchasing a home, whether it be your next home or your first home, doesn't matter. But the idea is the sooner you get in, the better off you're going to be. And I can use the past period of time here as the direct example. If you go back a year ago, and there are many of our listeners who are going to be on here who will be in this exact situation. A year ago, they were thinking about buying real estate. They didn't like where interest rates were. They thought, let me wait for interest rates to come down and then I'll transact, right? Well, a year goes by, and now that home that they were looking at is somewhere in the Vegas market 4 to 7% more expensive.
Exactly.
So that $500,000 house, well, $35,000 more because you waited a year.
Yeah.
And what you have to kind of keep focused on is, what am I really buying? You're buying the property. The house is the whole point of this, right? The financing is just a tool. And it's a tool that can be changed once you have the house. Right? And so delaying the good decision on purchasing a home just because, let's say, the financing is not as ideal as you'd like it to be, you have to look beyond that, in my opinion, and get into ownership ultimately, because the house prices are going to outstrip your chase on, I need to make more money. I want to have more saved. I want to. The house prices are going to outrun that every single time.
Indeed, no doubt. And I always say, and look, if you look at the history of real estate, it always goes up over time. Period. End of story.
I love this stat. So this is the numbers. Bear with me, people. So since 1943, home values have gone up 74 of those years. They've gone down 6 of those years.
There you go. Yeah.
So which side do you want to bet on?
There you go. Yeah.
The up 73 or the down 6, right? You're not going to be able to time the market. Now, yes, if you bought a property and you held it for 6 months, could you lose money? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You probably will.
Real estate is not short term. Don't be thinking short term.
Yes.
And this is why we tell you, plan to own the house at least 5 years. In certainly the consistent average would say you're going to be just fine and you're going to make money. But it does go back to sort of the couple of questions that I like to ask people to ask for themselves about, are you ready? Is now your time, right? And it's simply, are you financially stable? Can you afford the payment? And can you keep the property long enough?
That's it.
If the answer to these questions are all yes, you got to be in.
Buy the home.
Buy the home.
Do it. Yeah.
Buy the home.